This morning, the king of silver fell. The world's largest primary silver producer just surrendered. Fresnillo admitted the truth. They cannot find the metal. The mines are dying. The ore is poor. And the promise of infinite supply just vanished. They told you that higher prices would bring more metal. They told you that if the demand rose, the miners would simply dig deeper. They lied. This morning, Fresnillo officially cut their production guidance. They dropped the number to 42 million ounces. That is a collapse. That is an admission of defeat. The geology does not care about the stock market. The earth is empty. You need to understand what this means for your family. You are not watching a mining report. You are watching the death of the manufacturing supply chain. Silver is not just money. It is the blood of the modern world. It is in your phone. It is in your light switch. It is in the solar panel on your roof. When the king of silver says the mine is empty, it means your way of life is about to become very expensive. 2 weeks ago, they told you the supply chain was healing. They lied. Look at Chile. Look at El Teniente. The report confirms it today. The largest underground copper mine, which bleeds silver as a byproduct, is broken. A collapse in the tunnels, a disaster in the dark. They say it will not be fixed until 2027. That is years away. You do not have years. You have days. The system is trying to hide this. They show you a price on a screen that flashes red and green. They distract you with paper contracts. But the dirt does not lie. Mexico is running out. Chile is broken. Peru is blocked by protests. The 3 engines of global silver supply have stalled at the exact same moment. This is not a coincidence. This is a synchronized collapse. They told you that technology would save us. They said we would find new ways to extract metal. But the report from Fresnillo says the opposite. The ore grade is falling. That means they have to dig more rock to get less silver. It costs more energy. It costs more water. It costs more money. And they get less return. This is the law of diminishing returns. It is the law of gravity. And it just crushed the global supply. You feel this at the grocery store. You feel it when you pay your electric bill. You think it is just inflation. It is not. It is scarcity. When the silver stops flowing, the electronics stop being made. When the electronics stop, the just-in-time delivery trucks stop. When the trucks stop, the food does not arrive. The empty mine in Mexico leads directly to the empty shelf in your neighborhood. The banks are terrified. They have sold more paper silver than exists in the ground. They bet against the price. They bet that Fresnillo would keep digging. They lost that bet this morning. Now they are trapped. They owe metal they cannot buy. They owe silver that does not exist. This is why the price on your screen is volatile. It is a desperate attempt to shake you out. They want your silver. They need your silver to cover their crimes. Do not look at the spot price. The spot price is a lie told by a bankrupt casino. Look at the mine. The mine is the truth. The mine says no. The mine says empty. When the largest producer in the world cuts guidance during a price boom, the situation is terminal. If they could dig more, they would. They cannot. This is the end of cheap electronics. This is the end of cheap solar energy. The Green Revolution just hit a wall of solid rock. They promised you a transition to renewable energy. They forgot to check if they had enough silver to build it. They do not. And now the scramble begins. Nations will fight for what is left. Industries will hoard what remains. And you will be left with paper dollars that buy nothing. You have a choice today. You can believe the screen, or you can believe the dirt. The screen says silver is just a commodity. The dirt says silver is a strategic asset that is disappearing. The screen says you have time. The dirt says the timeline just accelerated. The shortage is here. It is not coming next year. It arrived this morning with that report. They will try to print their way out of this. They will print trillions of dollars. They will print euros. They will print yen. But you cannot print a silver vein. You cannot print high-grade ore. You cannot print a functioning mine shaft. The more money they print, the more valuable the remaining ounces become. This is basic math, and the math is screaming warning signs. Think about your savings. Where are they? Are they in a bank account? That is numbers on a server. Are they in a bond? That is a promise from a broke government. Are they in the stock market? That is a casino built on debt. If you do not hold the metal, you do not own the wealth. The miners know this. That is why they are struggling. They are fighting geology and losing. The supply crunch is the trigger. The explosion is coming when the industrial giants realize there is no silver for their products. They will panic. Apple needs silver. Tesla needs silver. Samsung needs silver. They will bypass the paper market. They will go directly to the mine. But the mine will say, we have nothing. Then the price discovery happens. Real price discovery. Not the manipulated game you see today. This is why you prepare. You do not prepare because you are a pessimist. You prepare because you can read a mining report. You prepare because you understand that 42 million ounces is not enough. You prepare because you know that a hole in the ground in Chile affects the food on your table. You are the final line of defense for your family. They want you to stay asleep. They want you to think this is just business news. It is not. It is a survival warning. The raw materials of civilization are running low. The era of abundance is over. The era of scarcity has begun. And in the era of scarcity, he who holds the physical asset wins. He who holds the paper promise loses everything. Look at the map. Mexico, Chile, Peru. These are not just names. These are the lungs of the silver market, and they are struggling to breathe. Fresnillo is gasping. El Teniente is choking. The supply is suffocating. And the market is about to have a heart attack. You need to be out of the system before the ambulance arrives. Because the ambulance is not coming for you. It is coming for the banks. The government will not save you. They will save the banks. They will save the corporations. They will bail out the paper market. But they cannot bail out the empty mine. They cannot inject liquidity into a rock. The physical reality is the ultimate judge. And the judgment was delivered this morning. Guilty. The system is guilty of fraud. And the sentence is a total supply collapse. You must become your own central bank. You must become your own reserve. When the silver runs out, the world stops. Do not be the one waiting for a restart. Be the one who holds the key. The key is silver. The key is physical. The key is in your hand, not in their vault. They told you gold was the only safe haven. They forgot about the poor man's gold. They forgot about the metal that makes the modern world function. Silver is not just wealth. It is utility. It is necessity. And necessity knows no price. When they need it, they will pay anything for it. Make sure you are the one selling, not the one begging. The report from Fresnillo is the bell. It is ringing loud and clear. Can you hear it, or are you listening to the noise of the mainstream media? The media talks about politics. The media talks about distractions. They do not talk about ore grades. They do not talk about depletion. Because if they did, the panic would be instant. You are now part of the minority that knows, the king has fallen. The mines are failing. You possess the intelligence that the algorithms try to hide. Use it. Do not just sit there. Act. Convert your paper into reality. Convert your digits into weight. Weight is the only thing that matters when the system breaks. This is a war for resources. It is a silent war. It is fought in the tunnels of Mexico and the boardrooms of London, but the casualties will be in your neighborhood. The Casualties will be the people who trusted the paper. Do not be a casualty. Be a survivor. The warning has been issued. The data is public. The conclusion is inevitable. The silver market is a compressed spring. The miners are sitting on top of it, trying to hold it down. But they are losing their grip. Fresnillo just slipped. El Teniente just slipped. The spring is about to uncoil. And when it does, the energy release will destroy the short sellers. It will destroy the paper manipulators. It will launch the value of real metal into the stratosphere. Imagine a world without silver. No satellites, no guided missiles, no medical imaging, no water purification. It is a dark world. It is a primitive world. We are dangerously close to the edge. The buffer stocks are gone. The surface stockpiles are drained. We are living hand to mouth, and the hand just came up empty. They will call this a temporary disruption. They will use soft words. They will say headwinds. They will say operational challenges. Translate that into truth. Temporary disruption means permanent decline. Headwinds means the easy deposits are exhausted. Operational challenges means the mine is broken. Learn to speak their language. Learn to decode their lies. This morning changed everything. Yesterday, you could hope for a recovery in production. Today, that hope is dead. The data is in, the trend is down, the supply cliff is real. You are standing on the edge of it. Do not look down. Look ahead and run toward the exit. The exit is marked with the chemical symbol AG. The window of opportunity is closing. Right now, you can still buy silver. You can still trade your paper for ounces. That window will not stay open forever. Soon, the dealers will say out of stock. Soon, the premiums will double. Soon, the market will go no offer. When that happens, it is game over. You are either in or you are out. Remember the number 42 million. That is the new ceiling. That is the limit. The world demands more, but the earth gives less. This divergence is your opportunity. It is the greatest transfer of wealth in history. It is moving from those who trust lies to those who trust geology. Which side are you on? The silence from the mainstream is deafening. They should be screaming about this. The largest producer cuts guidance. That should be front page news. It is buried. Why? Because they do not want to run on the banks. They do not want you to queue up at the coin shop. They want you docile. They want you invested in their debt. Break free. The time for analysis is over. The time for action is now. The facts are indisputable. The Silver King has admitted weakness. The dominoes are falling. Mexico, Chile, Peru. The supply chain is shattering. Protect yourself. Protect your purchasing power. The storm is not coming. The storm is here. This is the reality of 2026. A world of scarcity. A world of broken promises. A world where the only truth is what you can hold in your hand. Fresnillo told you the truth today. Listen to them, believe them, and act accordingly. Your future depends on it. The clock is ticking. The vaults are draining. The mines are slowing. The squeeze is tightening. Do not let them squeeze the life out of your savings. Squeeze them back. Take the physical, drain the exchange. Be the bank. The game has changed. And the new rule is simple. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. End of the line. The warning is delivered. The choice is yours. Victim or victor, paper or metal, zero or hero. Choose wisely. Choose now, because tomorrow, the price might be a memory. The supply chain is a fragile chain. It is made of weak links, and the strongest link just snapped. Fresnillo was the anchor. The anchor is gone. We are drifting, and the waterfall is ahead. Paddle, paddle for your life. The current is stronger than you think, and the rocks are sharp. Look at the history. Itenzo by Bashir, Launsenling Ishiyi. In those times, we had supply. We had miners digging record amounts. Today, we have the opposite. We have a mania in demand and a depression in supply. This is the perfect storm. This is the setup for the silver singularity. A point of infinite value, a point of no return. Do not be the one who says, I wish I bought when I heard the news. Be the one who says, I am glad I bought when everyone else was sleeping. The herd is asleep. The wolf is at the door. The wolf is inflation. The wolf is scarcity. Silver is the door. Lock it. This is the message. Simple, brutal, true. The king is dead. Long live the metal. Secure your position. The financial reset is not a theory. It is a mathematical certainty driven by geological reality. The rocks don't lie. Men do? Trust the rocks. Smash the like button if you refuse to be a victim. Smash it to warn your neighbor. Smash it to force the algorithm to tell the truth. They want this hidden. We will make it viral. We will make them see we are the resistance. We are the awake. We are the prepared. It's gone. And the cheap silver, it's gone. The stable supply, it's gone. The trust in the system, it's gone. All that is left is you and what you hold. Make it count.